What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into DLF. Today, we are talking early rookie running back rankings for the 2023 class. Now, obviously, right, we're missing a ton of information. The combine, which matters to an extent. We don't have where guys have been drafted, when they have been drafted, all these other things. Right now, we just have the majority of the college season to start looking at these players and saying, all right, where do they match up against each other? Where are they going to land in rookie drafts? What type of production can we expect from these guys, right? So before we get into the top three, remember, guys, if you like what we're doing, subscribe to the channel. If you have questions, you have comments, you're looking for more rookie content, right? Stay here. Stay on the DLF channel. We have a ton of it coming up, with the NFL season getting close to wrapping up here. So with all that being said, let's jump in. So we'll start with number 3 and work our way up to number 1. And there's a lot of guys that are in consideration for this number 3 spot. I think a lot of people are going to agree with who I have here, but other players just that are in consideration, and it makes sense to touch on really quickly. You have Sean Tucker, you have Blake Corum, you have Zach Charbonnet, you have Tank Bigsby. This is a deep running back class. Obviously, the top 1 and 2 guys I think are cemented and are going to be incredible. But you're going to have a lot more day 2 picks than we did last year. And that is going to just automatically make a lot of these guys look better from an analytics standpoint, from a talent standpoint, whatever it may be. So, long-winded way to say, number 3 is Zach Evans out of Ole Miss. Now, he transfers over from TCU, and we have seen Zach Evans not necessarily work as a workhorse in this Ole Miss offense in a very busy backfield, but still work as the de facto 1A and produce at a very high level, again, just like he did at TCU. Now, if you're not familiar with Zach Evans, he's 6 feet, 215. If that's actually what he is, we don't know. That's what he's currently listed at. And he has basically become a bruising, long speed runner with pretty decent vision, enough creativity to break long runs and really just kind of finish forward when he's running. He's great at making the first guy miss, especially if it's a low contact hit. He has great contact balance as well. So these are the types of things he fights through, and again, has turned out to be a very good running back, even in the SEC, after leaving, the joke that is, the Big 12 and their defense over there. The real big question is going to be his receiving ability. He has become an 8 to 10 catch player over the course of his college career, right? He has not garnered a large target share, so as far as analytics go, he's going to take a hit there because his college target share is not going to be, near an elite level. It's going to be probably where Kenneth Walker is. And I bring up Kenneth Walker because a huge knock on him coming out was obviously his lack of receiving, or his potential lack of receiving ability. Zach Evans is going to fall into the same bucket. Does it mean he can't receive and he can't, be a pass catching back? No, of course not. That's why Kenneth Walker is an interesting comp here. But if he falls into the right spot, things can go very well for Zach Evans. And if you're looking at where is he going to get drafted in the NFL draft, most likely he's a day 2 pick. Whether that ends up being a 2nd or 3rd round, we don't know. The combine is going to be a big indicator for that. So keep an eye on Zach Evans. Right now he slots in as the RB3 for me in the early, way too early 2023 rookie running back rankings. Moving on to number 2, I don't think this should surprise a lot of people. It is Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. He transfers from Georgia Tech after being a dynamic, dual threat running back that can run, can catch, can pretty much do everything you ask. And at Bama, that has only been magnified, right? You're looking at a guy that has 42 receptions. And in college, as a running back, that's absurd. And then you couple that with a running back that is probably going to finish with just under 1,000 yards after bowl games if he plays, averaging over 6 yards a carry. He has insane breakaway speed. He has 70-plus yard touchdown runs and receptions each of his 3 seasons, or to some extent, right, mix and match, over his 3 seasons at Georgia Tech as well as Bama. He is creative. He is shifty. The man has a disgusting spin move that just puts defenders, behind him. He is extremely difficult to tackle. And again, we touched on it, he has insane breakaway speed as well. The reason he slots in ahead of Zach Evans, the receiving upside. We know it's there. Think of an Alvin Kamara level of production in the receiving game, that is what he carries as far as upside goes in the NFL. Does he get that? Does he get that type of workload? We don't know. We have no idea where he's going to be. He has to land in the right spot for that to, fully materialize. But there is no question about it. He will be a quote-unquote workhorse back. If it wasn't for our number one running back, and you guys know who it is without me even saying it, Jahmyr Gibbs would probably be the running back one in a ton of different classes. Again, if we're looking at where could Jahmyr Gibbs go in the draft itself, he could land in the back half of the first, right? He could be a top 30 pick, I think is realistic. I think the most likely outcome is probably he ends up in day 2, because that just the NFL is evolving. They understand where running backs should be getting drafted regardless of how good they are. I think Breece Hall still falling to day 2. But Jahmyr Gibbs has all of the makings of a superstar, and he is a guy who is a very worthy 102, 103, depending if you like Quentin Johnson or JSN or anybody else and you're not playing Superflex. But Jahmyr Gibbs should be the second player off the board in my eyes, at least. And yeah, he's a stud. And to close us out, my number one running back, I think everybody's number one running back for a very good reason. It is Bijan Robinson out of Texas, the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley. I don't think there's a lot of debate, a lot of questions around who should be number one. Again, we love Jahmyr Gibbs. He is going to be awesome. Bijan Robinson is 10 times better. He is just an all-around superstar. If he came out last year, he probably would have been a top 10 pick. If he comes out this year, and I hate that that's even a question, but I think he will, he should, he has the potential to be a top 10 NFL draft pick. Now, the reason that may not happen is, again, right, the NFL is starting to evolve. Even from 2018, things have changed drastically in how running backs are valued. So it's not a guarantee Robinson goes that high. But he's a first-round pick. He is a locked-in first-round NFL talent. There is nothing the man cannot do. He ran for 1,500 yards this year. He also has caught 20-plus passes multiple times. He is an all-around dual-threat superstar that is as creative as they get, from hurdles to spins, jump cuts. It doesn't matter. Bijan Robinson has it in his bag. That man is just insane. Again, people have been tanking for 2 years to get Bijan Robinson in Dynasty, just like they did with Saquon Barkley back in 2018. And it's warranted. He is a generational, season-changing, team-changing type of player. I don't care what the format is. He's the 101. I don't care if he somehow falls to the second round and lands up on the worst team in the NFL. Doesn't matter. He's the 101 in literally every single format. It does not matter. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. Again, if you like what we're doing here, you're looking for more rookie content as we get towards the end of the NFL season here, check us out, subscribe. You have questions, comments, right? Drop it down below. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.